Drafting with Numot. Ravnica Allegiance. Don't have too much time here, but we have a final payment, a Rakdos Firewheeler, and a Clamor Shaman. I'm going to take the Firewheeler as I think the most individually powerful card, and see if we can get some nice Rakdos cards, possibly, to follow that up. Alright, next pack here, our rare not very good, Font of Agonies doesn't really do anything. For red and black, we have Light Up a Stage, Burning Tree Vandal, Noxious Grudian, then like a Rafter Demon. Maybe best card in the pack being the Aeromunculus, but after taking the Rakdos Firewheeler, I don't mind taking the Light Up in the Stage and seeing if we can make this work. Ooh, into a nice Fireblade Artist, which I think might actually just be the best card in the pack anyways. Orzhov Racketeers is fine. There's a Gravelhide Goblin, Rendhorn, Skitter Eel. Funny rare, mythic I should say, emergency powers, but definitely not one, well, you take and in hopes of winning because it's good. It's fun, but do not recommend it. We're just going to easily take the Fireblade Artist here and look to continue down this Rakdos route. Seems good so far. Alrighty, next pack has, interestingly, a Deputy of Detention 4th pick. I'm not quite sure why that's in here. There's also a Chillbringer, which, I mean, this could signify that blue is a place to be in right now. I mean, otherwise for me, we have like a Rakdos Roustabout, which is certainly much worse than Deputy and Chillbringer. Wow. That's kind of crazy. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm a little bit tempted to take Deputy and kind of hedge, but it's such an awkward pick. The thing is, Roustabout is definitely replaceable. There's even a Blade Brand in here, which Blade Brand might be better than the Roustabout for the Rakdos deck. Okay, I'm going to hedge here. I'm going to take the Deputy of Detention. I think it's a big enough sign that this could be a place that I want to be in. And yeah, we're getting a 5th pick Law Mage's Binding now. Okay, I think I'm probably supposed to take that. I'm losing out on like an Undercity Scavenger in my Rakdos and a Ripple Recluse, but seeing a 5th pick Law Mage's Binding is a pretty big sign. And now we're getting like a Pteramander, so I think I made the right call here. Unfortunate that I have to lose my first 3 picks, but it looks like blue-white, and especially blue, is the place I want to be moving into. As we get a Code of Constraint over a Concordia Pegasus. Remember, it's always more important to read the signals of what you're getting past than trying to force something. And even though my second pack might not be very good, I should get paid big dividends in pack 3 especially. So let's take the Senate Griffin here. And yeah, wield the Arrester's Admonition. I mean, just look at our cards already, you know. They compare to the Rakdos cards I had taken, and we got them all 4th or later. Junk Troller, Prying Eyes, Prowling Caracal, and Coral Commando not really doing much. I think it's easier to pick up Prying Eyes than this Junk Troller, and Junk Troller actually has some nice utility in this format. There's the emergency powers on the wheel. I'm not going to take that, though. Skitter Eel on the wheel is kind of absurd, as it's one of the best blue commons. We'll leave the Junk Troll in the side, though. Unless we pick up like a Dovin's Acuity and go that crazy control deck. Or unless we find like a High Alert. Not really worth running. So I missed out on that Chillbringer, but that's about it. Can't ever imagine that card would wheel. Okay, not bad. We do get a Gateway Plaza here, which is nice for potential splashing. When I'm playing blue-white, not uncommon for me to splash any number of black cards. A lot of the times I end up in the Esper colors. So, good pick. And a good start to a draft. This is actually the Thursday before the Pro Tour, or I guess Thursday before the Mythic Championships in Cleveland, the very first. So it wouldn't be too surprising to see a lot of name players in my draft pod right now. Not that I recognize any of those names, but the point stands. Okay, second pack, we open Nikia of the Old Ways. Not very good IMO. I mean, it can be a decent card if you're running a high number of adapt creatures, but certainly not something we're considering here. There's Essence Capture, Frilled Mystic, Sage's Row Savant, Grotesque Demise, Sorrowform Hybrid, Fixing, Duelist. I think I like taking the Essence Capture here, but I would definitely like to pick up a Fairy Duelist or two at some point, and Sage's Row Savant's fine, but I think Essence Capture is the card for us. Ooh. Yes, please. Man, look at that pack. Absorb, Guildmage, Insight, Judgment. Wow. I think Judgment's one of the best white commons, but Sanic Guildmage is just an absurd uncommon. It's just way too good. Both abilities super relevant and super cheap. Kind of hard to pass anything. Instead of it. Or rather, take anything instead of it, I should say. Okay, there's another Essence Capture, but this time I'm going to take the Chillbringer. I think there's merit to considering Revival Revenge, as the effect is so powerful. But I think we'll just take the safe play and take the Chillbringer. This deck looks amazing. Super happy to have jumped into the, I mean, very clearly open blue. And we might just be like super heavy blue, splashing a teeny bit of white. Either way, I think I like the position I've put myself in. Okay, our next pack has a few goodies for us as well. We have the Tithe Taker, just a fine 2-drop, fine value 2-drop. Azorius Guildgate, Grasping Thrall. I'm gonna go ahead and just take the 2-drop here. It's kind of like a what's it called? Oligarch, the 2/1, or yeah, 2/1 Vigilance with Afterlife. Imperious Oligarch. It's kind of just like that for us in our deck, but it's good to have a solid 2-drop, so happy to take it. Orzhov Guildgate now, and a Sky Tether. Let's go ahead and take the Sky Tether as just some good, efficient removal. Ooh, wow. Another very good pack. Another Essence Capture. This would have been the third of the pack, but I think I just have to take another Lawmage's Binding, as this card is just A+. Swirling Torrent, also a fine card, but it's hard to pass an instant speed arrest, as they call it. This pack's a little bit of a whiff, as Hazda Officer is not very good IMO. And Homunculus, it's fine, but it's not what I'm looking for in this deck right now. Feel like I'm more likely to play the Homunculus, though, so I'll take that. Slimebind, Prying Eyes, and Azorius Locket. I think at this point I'm probably just supposed to take the card draw effect. I already have a lot of removal, which feels weird not taking the Slimebind, but I have so much removal already that I think the Prying Eyes is where we want to be. And I definitely want to pick up a Locket later on, but I think at this point the card draw is correct. Frilled Mystic there. Okay, let's take another 2-drop now. Again, not a very exciting 2-drop, but one that's just an okay curve filler. And we wield the Sphinx's Insight and the Thought Collapse. I think I'll just take the card draw effect here. Alright, some random filler cards on the wheel. Exposed to Daylight's a nice sideboard card, though. Always happy to have at least one of these in my sideboards, as there are just so many relevant artifacts and enchantments. Especially enchantments. I think that card is probably main deckable, too. Oh, let's see, let's cut the Homunculus. So where do we stand? We have a lot of good removal, but not enough creatures currently. We do have some creatures. Terramander can easily win a game, some random flyers, Skittereel's fine. Could use a few more creatures though. Maybe a Sphinx of New Prov out of the next pack, another Chillbringer, another Skittereel. Could even run the Scuttle Gator. Another fine card, it looks like, in this deck. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to attack with it until I adapt it with 8 mana, but this seems like a deck that could get there. Okay, pack number 3, we opened a Resolute Watchdog and an Eyes Everywhere. There's a final payment in the pack as well, but I think at this point we're just going to ignore any possibility of a black splash. I guess Eyes Everywhere is probably fine to take. I like the dog, but I don't know if it's correct here. Although I suppose I already have so many other things to do on turn 3, but just even having the ability to scry every turn is often good enough, I've found. So let's take the Eyes Everywhere. There's that Sphinx of New Prov, but I think I could get super greedy and try to wheel it. Hear me out. All the blue-white cards have been going around super late, especially the blue cards. So if I take Pteramander here, I think there's a chance that I can wheel the Sphinx of New Prov. Is it greedy? Maybe a little bit, but I think the Pteramander is pretty good anyways. Like, maybe not on complete same level as the Sphinx, but still very, very good, and I think it's worth trying. As we finally take a Fairy Duelist here, we can start ignoring all of these non-creature spells, as I already have a good spread of those. And Duelist does some overtime work, honestly. Like, this is just performed spectacularly well for a common. It outperforms what you would think. Overperforms, I guess I should say. Alright, another awesome pack here for us, as we have Azorius Guildgate, a 3rd Lawmage's Binding, and a Senate Griffin. Can't go wrong with removal. I think I'm just going to take another Binding here. Wouldn't be surprised to wheel the Guildgate or the Griffin either, so seems like a good choice. How many instants and sorceries do I have for these Pteramanders? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not too many. Still like them, though. And I think taking one of them over that Sphinx of New Prov is probably okay. I will be validated especially hard, though. If I'm able to wheel that Sphinx of New Prov. Man, these packs are so good for me. Alright, let's take the doggy this time. Not huge on the Impassioned Orator. Already have a Admonition. And this can just gum up the ground a little bit and protect one of our relevant threats since we don't have too many, so I think that's okay. High Alert? Oh no. Is this a High Alert deck? Not at all. We have like 2 creatures or 3 creatures that it helps, but then we have a lot of creatures that it actually hurts. I do have a Homunculus and the Junk Troll in my sideboard, but looks like we're just going to take the Sphinx of the Guild Pact here as a good top-end late-game threat. Sorry, High Alert. Your time has come and passed. Well, I guess the High Alert time actually never came, but it has certainly passed. Taking Azorius Locket here over Shimmer or Persistent Petitioners, I think. And now I need to start thinking of cards to cut in case I do wheel like that Sphinx of New Prov. Slimebind, Swirling Torrent, Concordia Pegasus, Giant. All fine cards, but I don't think we want to play any of them over what we currently have. I might honestly be most likely to play the Watchful Giant here, even though Slimebind and Swirling Torrent are definitely better cards. I just don't need this type of effect, and so maybe I want something like the Giant. Okay, so this is the wheel. So the dog wheeled. We're really hoping to get that Sphinx of New Prov next pack. Did we do it? Nope. Darn. Okay. It was a little bit greedy, but I don't think the Pteramander was wheeling either. Take the Knight of Sorrows, because that's indeed how we're feeling. So I might be like 1 threat light. Oh, maybe not. I mean, I have the double Pteramander. Those are 5/5 flyers. Sphinx. I have 3 5/5 flyers. 500 removal spells. Very good deck overall. I am a fan of Barrister Zeal as well. I just don't think there's room for it in this style of deck. So pick 1 Firewheeler, pick 2 Light Up a Stage, pick 3 Artist, pick 4 Deputy of Detention, and then all in on white-blue after that. There's the Impassioned back. Suppose I could run that. Is it better than anything else in my deck? Not really, though. Although I suppose I don't need this Azorius Locket. We already have a decent bit of card draw. We have Prying Eyes and Insight at the very least, and then some of our other instants and sorceries cantrip. So maybe it's just better to play that random 2-drop here. Take a look at our spread. Decent curve. Look at those 3s. Okay, I like it. The only real thing I'm upset about is that I didn't take the guild gates very highly, and as a result I didn't get any of them. We saw like 3 Azorius guild gates during the draft, but just ended up with none. And yeah, I think 10-7 would be doable, but I'm going to go 9-8. I wish I had taken a gate or 2, of course, but I think we can get away with 9-8 here. A lot of our white is early. So let's try it like this and go to round 1 of this Ravnica Allegiance single elimination draft. Alrighty, here we are for round 1 of this draft. We are on the draw, and our hand is okay. Hello, friend, indeed. Opponent playing a black deck. Something I'm going to have a problem with is if the opponent has like an ill-gotten inheritance. That could be a very problematic card for me. Ooh, very good draw there. So do we want to lead with the Senate Guild Mage, or do we want to lead on the Sage's Row Savant? I think we probably just want to lead on the Guild Mage. Start accruing that extra value just by activating it every turn one way or another. Certainly not trading off here. Oh, alright, well, not the worst case scenario, but unfortunate. Final payment on our Senate Guild Mage. Opponent knows the power of it. Let's play our Sage's Row Savant. Certainly going to bottom that island. I think we can top the Code of Constraint. It cycles, and it's going to make the Pteramander adapt cheaper. Ooh, no attacks from the opponent. Just plays a Spirit or plays a Impassioned and passes the turn. All right, let's go to combat. I think I'm just going to attack for 1 here, see if they block. And if they do, I get to code. We're going to hold up a blue again in case we draw our other Pteramander. Admonition would have been nice on that token, but here we are. Okay, I will certainly trade if they offer. It looks like the opponent's still on do-nothings. And I think this is actually a pretty good turn to just cast the Arrester's Admonition on their Impassioned. It would kind of suck if they have another final payment to fizzle my spell and kill one of my creatures, but by doing this, if they don't have anything, I get to get in for 2 with the Sage's Row Savant. Oh, they do have another final payment. And then I was going to say I get to level up my Pteramander the next turn, but was not meant to be. As they cycle a Blade Brand on my Sage's Row, and they did find a land. The good thing is, getting the final payments out of their hand now means it's much more likely that my Sphinx of the Guild Pact lives. As they did have it ill-gotten. Alright, let's find a land here. Well, it's kind of like a land. I was actually thinking about holding a double blue for Essence Capture, but I didn't say it, nor did I actually do it. Dead Rebels back there. 2 creatures, okay. And here comes the Oligarch. I mean, it's a pretty good binding target, and we have another one in our hand already. Then we can attack for 2, and I either have the option of now using the Deputy on the Inheritance, or holding up Essence Capture. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and Deputy the Inheritance now. Alright, well that was a pretty good draw for them. Scavenger going to eat the enchanted oligarch and get him a token. See how they scryed. 2 cards on top. Yikes. Alright, let's just jam our Sphinx. Pass turn. We know they have the Impassioned in their hand, but I think I like just running out the Sphinx this turn and then binding the City Scavenger next turn while holding up Essence Capture and whatnot. Hopefully they don't have another Blade Brand. That would be unfortunate. Alright. That'd be so bad if they had another Blade Brand here. Oh no, they must. Really? Oh my gosh, that's so sick. Wow. We are getting leveled on every turn. I don't think I was supposed to use a removal spell there. I mean, maybe I was supposed to use Law Mage's Binding? Ugh, gosh. Aha. Oh, that would make a little bit more sense why they have so many Blade Brands. Running multiple Footlight Fiends. And let's make our Sage's Row Savant bigger so it survives a Footlight Fiend. I need to find like my other Terramander now. Oh, Duelist would have been insane versus that Blade Brand turn 2. Yikes. Yeah. It's an easy Sky Tether target. Yeah, let's flash in the Duelist and start beating in for 1. Okay, opponent hit their 7th land. Maybe they have a Sphinx too. Nope, just a Knight of Sorrows. It's not too bad for us. 1 card left, so we need to draw like Prying Eyes. Get back in this game. Ugh, that second Blade Brand was so brutal. Also, knowing that they have 2 final payments means that our Sphinx is less good here. I think I go ahead and block the Knight of Sorrows. Trade here. Gives them 1 Afterlife token, of course, but can't really just afford to sit back and take 3. Alright, that's another problematic creature. Mainly because I just have a bunch of do-nothings. I guess I sit back now. Two final payment and an Undercity Scavenger means all my enchantment removal is that much worse. The reason I do hold on to 1 land is because Prying Eyes makes me discard 2, so holding on to a land to discard it seems okay. And we'll go ahead and give the opponent 2 more flyers. Alright, they are going to kill the dog, though, which means at least our Fairy Duelist can kind of hold back the spirits for now. And there's our Terramander. And we have 1, 2, 3. So it costs 5 to activate. So I'm going to do this on my on their upkeep. Makes them use mana for Grotesque Demise on their main phase if they have it. Or sorry, on their turn if they have it. Tithe Taker. Okay, we can run that out. Not a bad blocker. And start bashing in for 6. Or 5, rather. They do have 3 spirits to chump at some point in the game, but we're doing okay right now. Oh, this is an easy trade as well. Tithe Taker not really doing much anymore anyways. And the extra spirit can get in and trade. Don't want to attack with the duelist yet, since they can just double block. Okay, no trades. They might have something like a Teysa in their deck if they're not trading. Or maybe they're just waiting to see if they draw another... Oh no, a red source? Ooh, a Theater of Horrors. Well, it's one of the few red cards that you would splash for, so that makes sense. We are beating them down, though. Next turn, I think I attack with the Fairy Duelist, because I assume they're going to at least chump one here. Okay. Alright, let's see what they hit underneath the Theater. Plains. Alright, that's not that bad. Plague White's irrelevant too. Both players have 12 cards left in deck. Uh-oh. They're just pinging me for one, maybe? Ping me for one and play the land would make sense. Yep, okay. Phew. Don't scare me with that mana tapping. I mean, a creature's a creature, better than a land, of course. And every 1 damage we do get in with the Duelist is relevant because they have the Impassioned gaining a little bit of life every time a creature enters for them. No lands in my graveyard right now, so that means 5 lands still left in 11 cards. So, about 50% to still hit land. Okay, land from hand for the OP. I imagine they're going to ping me for one here, second main phase, and then play the Noxious out. Maybe I don't trade here. You know what? I'm just going to take the hit. It's better this way if I just draw a creature. I'll let them cast their Noxious for free, quote-unquote, but the Terramander has to be chumped by the Spirit this turn. The Duelist gets in. That was an insane draw, finally. I discard 2 planes. To attack with both our flyers. They have to chump the Terramander. And let's just run out the Eel. As they ping me for one end of turn. This is going to gain me 1 life, though. And then next turn we can play Eyes Everywhere and immediately exile something. Orzhov Guildgate was the card exiled from Theater, so unless they drew relevant spell off the top, we're going to get them here. Oh man, that was a very grindy game 1. Alright, so we're going to bring in the Exposed. They had both Theater and Ill-Gotten Inheritance. I mean, I'm probably going to take out some number of bindings as much as that hurts. Looks like the Watchdog's also another Watchdog is pretty good here, as they had just a bunch of 2-drops, or 2-power creatures. Almost got to the point where Clear the Mind could be a consideration too. Yeah, 2 final payments and an Undercity Scavenger means my enchantments are so much worse. I guess maybe I don't need 2 dogs. Let's just swap a binding for the Expose and then run it like this. They didn't have that many flyers beyond their Afterlife cards, so if we can just stick one of our flyers like we did that last game, we should be okay. Game 2, yuck, on the draw. 1 lander's no good. 2 lander with a Scry and then a Scry 2 is good enough. Oh no. One of our best cards, but... Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to bottom that. Can't really afford to keep a 7 drop on top right now. Okay, Footlight Fiend. And we know the power of that in their deck. They have just a ton of sacrifice effects plus the double blade brand. Ooh, we're going to get curved out on. Alright, Scry 2. Did not find me a plains, but we will keep the island as it lets us cast the Arrester's Admonition, which cycles. We'll see if they want to attack with their Footlight Fiend, because I will take the trade here. I mean, they do have a Dead Revels in their deck, but the longer I wait on trading with that Fiend, the worse it can get. So let's just bounce the 2-drop. Did find a plains, thankfully. Double 2-drop. 2 cards left in hand. Okay. I was just going to jam the Skitter Eel, but I guess we play the Eyes Everywhere and the dog now. As the dog stops the Impassioned already enough. And scrying for some extra lands seems relevant. Opponent did already find their red source. Hopefully they don't have the Theater here. They don't. Sky Tether. I think that's a bottom. So we just dig for some land. That's good. Now I don't get to hold open the Resolute Watchdog here, so our Chillbringer might die. But I think this is a fine play. Yeah, final payment already. That's one of the 2 that we have information about in their deck. Not sure if they have more, but they could. There's the Inheritance. I think I like keeping a land on top, and now I'm debating swapping my Eyes Everywhere for the Inheritance. And I think that might actually be good right now. I don't like giving them Scry every turn, but I think the Inheritance is going to pay dividends. Okay, they put a card on top. I'm going to take 3 here. Or maybe they have a Blade Brand now? No. That was a Carrion Imp, okay. Prying Eyes, that's not bad. Do I have time to cast it, though? I don't think so. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to just Skitter here and pass. And then we can bind the Imp next turn. So I'm going to go down to 5, then I'm going to go back up to 6. Drain 1. Pass turn. Giving them a Scry might obviously end up killing me, but if I didn't take the Inheritance, I was just dying to that anyways. Oh no. Did I make a mistake? So I'm going to go to 1 here. All right. We can go ahead and just give this Indestructible too. Last card in their hand. Yikes. Okay, so we're going to go back up to 2. But I need to draw some cheap cards. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, alright. Pretty good curve out from the opponent, just 6 land stop there. Then again, I did give him the Eyes Everywhere, so maybe that's not too surprising. I just knowing they have double Blade Brand in their deck makes me so hesitant to bring in Junk Troller, which would be good otherwise here. Yeah, let's just run it back again. We'll be on the play this time. Hopefully we don't have to mulligan. Opponent had a very good curve last game, so let's run it back and be on the play for game 3 here. It's a keeper. It's not great, but it's a keeper. I have some early plays. And with one blue source, we do get to cantrip. I'm not going to play out the dog on turn 1. I don't think it's relevant enough, and I think the 1 extra life could be. Okay, could really use an island next turn. Island. Boom! Beggars can't be choosers. We'll accept the planes. Okay, Rakdos Locket. I can go ahead and expose that too if I want to. I think I'm going to on upkeep. And we did have an island on top. Nice. If that was an Orzhov Locket, I would be less inclined to do that. But considering that Locket was giving off their splash color, I think that's fine to do. Okay, take R1. Get some more lands is good. Let's play the Skitter Eel prior to attacking, so that we gain our 1 life. Because I don't think I'm going to save the Impassioned here if they block. Yeah, we're just going to let that trade happen. Nope, and then they opted not to block. No plays now. Passing with 5 mana open. It's a lot of mana. So I think what would happen is if I attacked, they would block with Noxious. I give the creature indestructible, and then they sack it. So I think what we're going to do here is we're kind of going to put it to them. Target the Noxious here with the Admonition. If they try to final payment in response, I have the dog to save it. And because of that, they might just let this resolve. Okay, looks like they're not. Denying me a card draw at least. And we'll attack for 3. Not playing out the land, as again I want to hold it for discard to Prying Eyes if I hit another mana. There's the Debtor's Transport. Perfect. Found our island. And we'll just pass here. 2 cards in opponent's hand. We'll see if they want to attack with their transport. They do, and I am not going to block. Not this turn anyways. Carrion Imp, that resolves. Eat my dog, 1 card left in their hand. And let's go for the Prying Eyes. Okay, we get to discard a land and a land. Sphinx's Insight, also a fine draw. Let's go to combat for 5. And we're going to go ahead and level up. Then play our Pteramander out, gain a life, and I'm going to Sky Tether their transport. A little bit awkward. I would much rather have had a Lawmage's Binding there for the transport, because now my Skitter Eel doesn't really attack, but with the double Pteramander, our game plan is in the air now. Okay. 2 cards for OP. Undercity Scavenger. All right. Well, they did have their one of their dudes to sacrifice. It's either that or their second final payment. Their transport is still a good blocker, though, is the thing, you know? Because if they sack their transport now, which they didn't, they sacked their carrying imp. If they had sacked their transport, then I could attack with Skitter Eel. So, this makes sense. Another good draw there here from us. Alright, well, let's attack. How did they scry? 1 top, 1 bottom. If they block, then they either have the Blade Brand, which is unfortunate, or they have the, oh, nothing? That's a little bit surprising. I guess I'm going to run out the other Pteramander then. Wow. Did not expect a quick chump like that. And I am 100% going to offer this trade. Maybe they have a Kaya's Wrath in their deck I didn't know about. Just a Dead Revels, okay. Getting back Pegasus and their Flyer. Sorry, Pegasus and their Scavenger. So 1, 2, 3. So if I cast Sphinx's Insight here. 1, 2, 3. No, then I won't have enough still. So it's just level. I'd be 1 short if I played Insight plus land. Alright, this time they get to sack their transport. Get their 2 blocking flyers. Hmm? 5/5 flyer to 5/5 flyer into another 5/5 flyer is pretty good, I think. Okay, jam in. And again, I think it's okay. We saw so much of their deck in game 1 and there was no Kaya's Wrath, so let's run out the Sphinxy. And if they get me, then darn it, they got me. Bummer. Why a bummer? Oh, they had a Priest of Forgotten Gods. Yeah, that would have been very... Wow, they had a lot of good answers to my enchantments. Pretty happy that I sideboarded one of them out. Alright, GG's, and let's go to round 2. Alright, round 2 of this single elimination draft. We are on the play. And looks like we have a pretty nice hand. Turn 1 Pteramander, turn 2 Sage's Row Savant, scry for some more lands. Might just be able to curve out this opponent. Playing against a Pro Tour champion right now who presumably is practicing for Cleveland. Alright, so game plan. Turn 1 Pteramander, turn 2 Sage's Row. Scry some lands on top, hopefully, which means I'm probably not going to be casting anything until turn 4 unless I see something I really want to keep. Excuse me. Do. Such a cute little creature. Pteramander. Uh-oh. 7-drop A. Well, I don't know if that's going to be cast anytime soon this game. Pteramander's being played everywhere now. It's being played in the mono blue deck, it's being played in the Drake's deck, it's being played in my limited games. Ah yes, the old double top lands. Well, like I said, we might not be casting anything out turn 3. Opponent could have a Fairy Duelist here, which would be quite unfortunate. And so I think we're either just passing or only attacking with the Sage's Roe Savant. I don't think I need to get in for the random pecks of damage, so I'm just going to pass here. They didn't cast an end of turn, which could be a sign that they don't have it, or they can just be baiting me again, but since they still have 2 mana open this turn, like they didn't have a good play last turn, and they probably had a gate already in hand, I think I'm just going to pass here with open mana. I don't think I need to gain the 2 life with Sphinx's Insight either, so we can just hold that up. Cast an end of turn. Oh man, Tithe Taker would have been awesome last turn. Okay. Now I think I'm going to attack with 2 and bait it out, if they have it. Yep, as expected. This is fine. Splashing black. If they get to 6 mana, just Ethereal Absolution me. Insta-lose. Seven cards still in the opponent's hand. Yikes. Let's see, we can cast Chillbringer next turn, although if I draw a land, I might just want to Prying Eyes so that I can start getting these Terramanders up to 5/5s. Because I'm not in a rush to run out any more cards in my hand. Like, my creatures are already threats enough as they are. Okay, well, we did hit land number 6. Am I okay trading Tithe Taker away? I think we are. Yep, this is fine. Shimmer, shimmer now. This is probably going to get a land if they didn't already draw one. But given the fact that they only cast Terramanda last turn, they're either holding up a Quench, or they just drew the Shimmer. Okay, Shimmer, there goes the land. To be expected. Wouldn't be surprised if this Prying Eyes get quenched. They did not have Quench. We drew some goodies. I think we want to keep the land over the Orator. Possibly? Definitely just carrying one land. Yeah, I think we'll keep the other. And let's just start leveling up our Terramanders. Another very good draw. Doing this main phase to play around Summary Judgment. Alright, take 6 is good for me. Let's see if they have the Judgment now. They do. And they have 2 instants and sorceries in their graveyard. All right. Again, playing around another Summary Judgment. This means I get in for at least 5 damage this way. Although if they have a bounce, I get punished here by tapping the way I did. But it represents a trick. Okay, Skyguard's fine. So what's the play? Well, I don't think we're doing anything to the Skyguard pre-combat, so let's just bash in for 4 since this is still a good attack. And then we can just play out our Sphinx. Versus blue-white, I'm not too scared versus them playing out a removal spell, like a destroy target creature effect, so I don't think it's necessary to play out the dog. Okay. I'm going to lead with dog here. 2, 3. Let's go for a binding now on their Pteramander. And this might prompt a scoop. Absorb. Okay. Well, let's get their second Law Mage's binding, I suppose. And a scoop. So I was going to attack with both flyers. They would have to chump with their Skyguard. So versus another blue-white deck who, well, we don't know what exactly they're splashing for, but could be many things. Could be Absolution, could be Final Payment, could just be like Grotesque Demise. I think usually Exposed to Daylight's worth bringing in versus another blue-white deck. And it feels like the dog might not be so necessary here. So let's do it like this. Go to game 2. Alright, game 2 here on the draw versus another blue-white control-y deck. Hand is very good. Or at least good land, good spell, curve-out ratios. So we did see a Fairy Duelist from the opponent. Which means if they just pass with 2 mana, I don't think it's worth chunking in for 1 damage. But we do just play out our spell pre-combat, though, because if they have a counter instead, then we know we get to attack in for at least 1. Okay, there's a Plains. Granted, I should have played another spell this turn as well. This was a mistake. Because now they have like Absorb open too. I'm really tempted just to pass here. But I think I lead with Eyes Everywhere. This was a mistake. I probably missed out 1 damage if they end up countering this. Yeah, they did have the Absorb. So I missed on 1 damage. That was a mistake for sure. I said the play I was supposed to make the previous turn, where I play the spell pre-combat and then attack if they cast a removal or counter, but whoops. Alright, Shimmers. Plays a land. Let's play out the Griffin first. No counter, okay. Scry Insight on the top. And they do have the Duelist. Do. Skitter. Okay. Do I want to eat that with a Deputy? Kind of want to just play Sphinx's Insight here and bash for 3. That seems like a good play. Chunk them in the air. Draw 2, gain 2. Nice hand. Look at that. Another 4 mana. What is this? Maybe Griffin of their own? Indeed. Okay. This is only opponent controls, not all of the same name, right? Yeah. It'd be pretty funny. Now we got some decisions here. I almost just like putting pedal to the metal since we know they're missing land drops. Gonna cast Deputy on the Skitter. And bind the Flyer. Attack for 5. We don't want to Deputy the Senate Griffin. Sorry, yeah, we don't want to Deputy the Senate Griffin because then if they do get rid of my Deputy, they get another free Scry. Oh, they have 2 Terramanders too. Oh, no, never mind. That's their first. Land here and I'll just evolve my Terramander. No land though. Could have quite a few tricks here. I think I just like attacking with the Griffin, perhaps? I think that's probably the best play. Especially if they have just like a bounce spell for Deputy, then Skitteriel doesn't eat my 2/2. Excuse me. Ooh. Okay, they don't have another fairy. That's good. So just take 3 it is. They've already used their absorb, so I don't mind leading out with the Guild Mage. Aha, Thought Collapse. Milling my Sphinx, a Duelist, and a land. That's unfortunate. I mean, if I top one of the lands, I can evolve or adapt the Terramander next turn, so I suppose I'm supposed to. I don't really want to draw the 7th land, though, but, I mean, turning into a 5/5 seems great. They can actually make their creature a 5/5 here as well. But I think we offer the trade. Hopefully I find a target for this Exposed to Daylight. I cut the dog for it, right? Dog would have been really good there with a 5/5 versus a 5/5. Need to find my Prying Eyes again. What was that? Final payment, okay. And then clear the mind. Got it. Not a good draw. So they are splashing for a final payment. Ooh, another. They're running the double clear the mind. Kind of cute in this matchup. Not what we're looking for, deck. Not what we're looking for. Alright, little Griffin, though, going the distance currently. As they level up their Skitter Eel. Four mana. Looks like they have a Griffin of their own again. Nope. Oh, just kidding. Attack with Duelist for 1 first before playing the Eel, perhaps. Ah, Syndicate Messenger. Yeah, that's annoying too. Stops my attack. Jeez. And the Flood Out is real. I'm just gonna have to pass here. We have a lot of fine draws, of course. Oh no. 3/4 flyer that gains 4 is real good right now. I guess I'm going to be cutting this exposed to daylight. Okay, Arrester's Admonition. What does that let me do? I think I'm going to get greedy here and bounce the Syndicate Messenger and see if we can draw like another Law Mage's Binding. Another Terramander, also not awful. And I have 1, 2, so it costs 6 to level up. Alright. I still think I just take another hit from the Skitter Eel. Unfortunately, I still don't attack into the flyers very well here. That was a good draw. Let's Sky Tether their 3/4 flyer and see what happens. Okay, now I can attack. At least attacking with the Terramander. I don't think I need to attack with the Griffin just quite yet. Alright, that's going to put the opponent to 3. Boo. They did have a Summary Judgment. Yeah, I'm going to keep taking big hits from that Skitter. These 12+ land draws aren't really helping me. Okay, let's take another 5. Hopefully they don't have their counter for any relevant spell that I would draw. That's super good if it doesn't get countered. Hold your fingers, or cross your fingers, hold your breath. Hold your fingers. Alright. Let's play around Quench. Let's bind their Messenger here. Oh no, do they have an Expose? Ah! Mortify on the Sky Tether. Means they get to eat my dude. And I'm not dead, but it's very close. Okay. Well, again, Skitter Eel's almost certainly getting in. Oh, maybe not. I guess I'm still dead next turn in the air, technically. Yeah, Expose. I don't want to do that just for the scry. I need to get lucky. Well, that ain't gonna do it. I don't think they block here. I think they smell this out. Yep. Good play. GG's. And let's go to a game 3. Alright, sideboarding for game 3. I guess that Expose is coming out after all. We can just bring in my Clear the Mind. Man, they have Mortify, Final Payment. I drafted 3 bindings and they're just not as good as I want them to be. I wonder if Scuttlegator's a legitimate threat here as well. Seems like it could be. But let's just run it like this. No dog. Would have been good there, but I think we can leave it as a cut, right? Actually, no. I do think I want the dog if I can submit in time. Yeah, maybe just cut. No, binding's still too good. I suppose Code of too late. No dog. All right. Well, let's go to game 3 here. in the effectively mirror. Not as good as of our other hand curves, but certainly a keep. Essence capture a little bit awkward with the adapt creature, but it's the way it goes sometimes. I find it highly unlikely that I'd be countering anything on turn 2. All right, let's bash in for 1. A little bit of temptation there to just cast Clear the Mind to cycle. Well, that's unfortunate. Land here? Alright. Try to find a land. Womp womp. Land there for Skitter Eel would have been huge. I think I'm going to cycle with the Admonition here instead of playing out the Sage's Roe Savant. Okay, opponent has their own Skitter Eel. We are finding our lands now, so that's good. But now it's kind of like we're a turn behind. Okay, they are going to adapt. And tap land, pass. Alright, well, we're hitting our land drops, so that's good. Let's go to combat. I'm just going to hit for 3 here, I think. Okay, they have Essence Capture. I can bind their dude in response. Summary Judgment would have killed my Skitter Eel either way. Uh-oh, there's their black source. Archway Angel, gain 4. Okay. Well, let's attack in, adapt, and cast Eyes Everywhere, I guess. Although I do know they have a Syndicate Messenger in their hand, so I guess I'm going to hold up. Oh no, did they draw Final Payment? That would be unfortunate. Mortify, it looks like. Nope. Oh, what is this? So Syndicate Messenger, 2 unknowns. Alright, there's the Messenger. Let's go for a capture. They did have a Mortify. Okay. 1 card left in hand now, but with Mortify gone, it's much more likely that our Sphinx lives. Just need to fade the Final Payment type effects as they cast Clear the Mind. Okay. And they redrew Mortify? Oh no, really? Yikes. I guess let's just Sky Tether that. Eyes Everywhere. Dang. Redrew the Mortify is so absurd. But we get to scry every turn, which is obviously good. We'll keep the Deputy. Just pass. Bottom of the island. Pass. Looks like opponent's flooding out now, so that's good for us. We get to mitigate some of this flood by scrying all these extra lands to the bottom. Wow. 9, 10, 11, 12 lands. Sorry, OP. Absorb, perhaps? Nope, okay. Terramander, oh no. That's a big one. Plus adapt immediately, yeah. I'm not going to play around Quench here because we haven't seen it in the previous 2 games. And I think just holding up the scry is much more relevant instead of giving them the eyes everywhere. We're so far ahead here. Okay. No cards left, so at this point they're top decking. Scry prying eyes, absolutely. Let's just pass. Hold open Code of Constraint in case they randomly get rid of one of these enchantments. Shimmer's a go. Uh-oh. Maybe another angel? Oh, just a Skyguard. Sure, that's fine. Alright, end of turn. We shall pry. Discard 2 lands. Do we want that? 4, 8 mana. Nope, we can bottom that. I think I'm just going to deputy the Skyguard here. As that makes our Terramander just a 2-turn clock. Keep another Law Mage's Binding seems good. And opponent needs to draw something nice here. Sky Tether technically works. Where's my Exposed to Daylight now? Let's main phase this Sphinx. Okay, decent. And remember, their Archway Angel has a Sky Tether on it, so. I think I actually bind this so that I deal 1 to them, and then next turn, Fairy Duelist plus the Senate Guild Mages, or Senate Griffin is 4 damage. Bottom. This Eyes Everywhere has been amazing. Alright, let's see if they drew a removal spell again. Exposed to Daylight. Okay, they did. Let's see how they scry. And they liked it, so they're going to put it on top. The bright side is I get to save my Griffin here with the Code of Constraint. All right, what did you top? Is it good enough? How many lands are left in my deck? 9, there, 10, 11. So 6 of the cards are lands, so this is my only spell left. Alright, so How much does this cost? 2? Perfect. So let's take their Pteramander with eyes everywhere. Attack in. Force them to have something. Admonition. Okay, they did. So they have to chump block the Pteramander, and then they go to 1. All right. Don't think there's too much they can have at this point. All right, GG's, and we will take the second round. Good match, long match, and let's go to the finals. Alrighty, here we are for the finals of this single elim draft against another pro player. On the draw, hand seems fine. Unlikely we're going to need essence capture turn 2, but that's the reason I did play out the island over at plains. As I think the impassioned here is just as good. Looks like we're playing against the Gruel. Okay, Gateway Plaza means they're unlikely to play anything else this turn. Do I want to race? I don't think so. I think I'm fine sitting back. The opponent probably wouldn't trade there anyways. Simic Guildgate now as well. Alright, start the Scryan business. I think the Tether's probably worth keeping versus Gruel. And let's bash in for 2. Yes, we will keep Ascendant Guildmage as well. That's a good top as well, because I get to cast the 2-drop and then hold up Essence Capture. As they had a smashy. Alright. Let's top there. Gain 2, pass, and hold up the capture. A lot of problematic gate cards that the opponent could have. Even just a Gates Ablaze would kind of ruin me. Also notably, they have blue. So if I steal something with eyes everywhere, I can potentially steal it back. Okay, land. I guess I'm just taking. I really wish I had a summary judgment in my hand right now. It'd be so good. Island. Do I need island? Nope. That's a good draw. Oh, it's so bad for me if they have Gates Ablaze though and I go for the deputy play. Interesting. Do I even play around a Gates Ablaze from the opponent in game 1? Maybe not. Alright, let's go for the high risk, high reward play. Maybe not high risk, but certainly riskier. Alright, no blazes, please. On the bright side, even if they do have a removal spell for Deputy of any variety, then at least they would have to re-level their creature. Bottom of the land. Alright, let's attack. I don't buy it. Let's just pass then. Looks like we're in good shape. Wow, what kind of hand did this opponent have? I wonder. But I don't mind just continuing the beats and holding up Essence Capture. They must be very flooded. How on earth would they have 5 cards in hand and not be able to cast anything? So imagine they have a lot of land there. Probably at least 3 lands in their hand. Alright, here we go. Rester's Admonition resolves. Combine Guildmage. And we're going to put this on our... No. We're going to put this on our Deputy so that it's also lethal. Alright. I guess they didn't have anything at all. That was a surprising game, I think. Apparently just very flooded. Okay, versus the, well, at least 3 color gates. I think we're fine to just run back this list and, yeah, hope we can get them in game 2. Alrighty, game 2 of the finals here on the draw, and we have a pretty good hand. Play against our buddy Corey Burkhart. Played against Ari Lax last round. I don't know who we played in round 1, but like I said, we are going to be playing against a lot of name players as they're practicing for the PT, or the Mythic Championship that happens this weekend. Alright. Opponent on the blue-green. I guess let's lead with the 2/2 here instead of the Tithe Taker. Feels like the extra life could matter. Especially if I don't make my land drops the next few turns. Aeromunculus, you got it. No land for us means creature go. One more land and we should be able to get things rolling, though. I mean, we have Code of Constraint to cycle. We have the Binding to buy us time. Are they going to smash me? 1, 2... Smasharoo! They did. Alright, I'm going to take 4 here. Land? No dice. No dice. A lot of removal, though. Two lander on the draw. Eh. Odds are you're going to get there, but obviously, some of the time you don't. Good beats. Take R2. See what they follow up with. Oh no, a crab. I would like to really hit a land this turn. Yikes. Land for the Lawmage's Binding there would have been huge. I would have been in very good shape had we hit the land last turn. Let's It's going to be a little bit harder now. Excuse me. Although, the good thing is, if they do just use the crab to, say, tap down Tithe Taker, which they didn't do, I'd be able to, like, block and give our Pteramander. Yeah, maybe I just soak up the 6 damage now. Seems fine to me. Still got a shot here with the land next turn. Hopefully they don't play out something too scary again. Okay, just bounce my Tithe Taker, that's fine. We did in fact hit the land, so now we get to go binding, bash in for 1. Looks like the admonition was just to cycle, because they need land as well. Okay, another adapt creature, the Skitter Eel. Let's start in by attacking for 1 again. Yeah, let's just bind again. Grew a Locket, alright, and a 2-drop. There's a hybrid. Take another 2 in the air. We did finally find our 4th land. What does that mean? Probably just a Senate Griffin. Although, if they just hit a land, that hybrid's gonna hurt. But I think I go with the Griffin here, and keep number 5 on top. No untapped land 1 time would be great. This has been a long draft. Second round went pretty long. This round is, yeah, it's not super fast, but like if we lose here, we'll be going to a game 3, for instance. I think I take the trade if given it. Colossus. Ugh. All right, that's a very good trick. Down to 5 I go, and they have another threat, Steeple Creeper. So it's the play. I don't know if Chillbringer is good enough here, but I guess we have to go for it. And I'm going to tap down the Aeromunculus. I just need to hope that they don't hit another land. Still not confident in our position, though. Yeah, bounce spell, draw a card, hit me for 2. Good enough for me. I'd have to chump here with the Pteramander. Alright, well, let's not miss our land drops. That's a good start, I think. Opponent has pretty good card quality overall. Mana willing for their deck. I don't think I need to bring anything in. Our bindings are going to be good versus them for the most part, but we did see double admonition, so very real possibility that I like bind one of their creatures, and then you know, they just bounce it back to their hand, but that's Requires a lot of mana investment for them to do so. All right, game 3 of the finals. Let's go on the play. Hand is fine. Not the ideal curve, but a curve nonetheless. And very high likelihood that I'm just going to Fairy Duelist on turn 2 at the end of their turn just to start beating in for damage, depending on what they do here. Yeah. Just start getting in for damage. Dog, a nice little blocker for the hybrid. Let's see if they have the Aeromunculus. Skewer the critics. All right, dog down. Dog down. I think it's okay to go for Skitter Heel here, Skitter Eel here, and hope they don't have the Savage Smash. There's the crab, but we can just bind that. And let's... Would I take that trade there? I probably would, but I don't want them to double block. I'd rather just go in for damage. Especially with the Chillbringer in our hand. Can try to race them. Notably, with the Sharkdo Crab still on the battlefield, Savage Smash would still kill my Skitter. Even if I, excuse me, adapted it. Okay, looks like they just bounced my Eel, then play a Plaza, hit me for 2. Seems good. No land still, kind of fumbling around here. Wonder if I'm supposed to Sphinx's Insight to play it safe. I think we just want to develop out the Eel again, but very possible I was supposed to Sphinx's Insight that turn as my best opportunity to. Because now if I like smash here, it's pretty bad for me. Chillbringer, annoying, but not the worst. Hopefully I can draw a land myself. Beautiful. Alright, so let's Chillbringer down there. Chillbringer. Continue our beats in the air for 1. Put him on a 3-turn air clock. I really don't mind here if they hit me for 6. In fact, I'd probably prefer it if they just adapt their Soroform hybrid this turn. I don't think it's super likely that they do, given how many cards they still have in their hand, but we would certainly enjoy that. As they just poop out a bunch of creatures. Alright, 1 card left in their hand, though. How do I want to play this turn? Well, I don't think I'm attacking anymore. I think I'm just passing and holding up Code of Constraint plus the Skitter Eel. Gosh, all their creatures are scary. My creature quality a little bit lower than theirs. Okay, just the hybrid coming in right now. Alright, well, easy blocks for me. The Duelist and the Eel on the hybrid, and then the Chillbringer on Chillbringer. So, we'll see if they level up. And I want to respond to this in case they have a... Actually, I could just let that trade for Eel and keep my Chillbringer, but I guess I want to keep the 5/5 more. But as I was saying, we want to respond to this in case they have Titanic Brawl. Okay, that was good. Land pass from the opponent. Another really good draw here. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to Impassioned Deputy to gain some life. Let's take the Aeromunculus, I think. And turn on the burners. Admonition here, perhaps. Oh, just another Aeromunculus. And a Frenzied Airynx. Okay, that's the last card in their hand, though, so they're hellbent. Sphinx is good. I think I am supposed to attack with a Skitter Eel here. The question is if I want to Prying Eyes or Sphinx's Insight this turn. I would have to hit a land plus another binding off of Sphinx's Insight to make it absurd. Because I think I'm supposed to trade the Skitter Eel for their Frenzied Airynx if given the opportunity this turn, right? Because this creature is so much better as an attacker. So I think I'm supposed to try to trade 1-for-1 with it. And given the cards I have in my hand, we want to just get damage off their board, I feel like. Okay. Wow, this is tough. I feel like I want to cast the Sky Tether this turn. I think I'm going to discard the Guild Mage here. And maybe the Insight. Is that weird? That feels so weird to do so. Could also be that I discard the Insight and the Plains, and maybe just don't Sky Tether this turn. I mean, they're hellbent. Alright, let's go discard Plains and Insight pass. I think we're okay not playing the Sky Tether this turn. Every creature I play is going to gain me a life anyways from the Impassion, so... yeah, I like the attack. Take 2, and what do you got to follow up? Another Sorrowform hybrid, okay. Well, there's our land. Now remember, they can give the Steeple Creeper flying. And I have 1, 2, 3... so my Pteramander costs 5. So let's go Pteramander here. Sky Tether the Sorrowform. And then just main phase adapt. So they can adapt either their Sorrowform or their Aeromunculus. Okay, looks like they're still going to make a 6/6 defender this turn. Or are they? Indeed they are. Okay. And that's just using their mana efficiently. They still have the Steeple Creeper and the Aeromunculus as flyers, though, so... like, I attack with Pteramander, they give the Steeple Creeper flying. They adapt the Aeromunculus. It's just a 1-for-1 trade, which I don't really want. Alright, let's jam out another huge flyer here. Just pass. Still a close game, I think. Like, yeah, our position's a little bit better, but if they just find like a removal spell for my Deputy, for instance. What was that? A Savage Smash on my Sphinx? Yikes. It's pretty good. The thing is, by holding up mana, or rather by not attacking, I force them to hold up mana for their Steeple Creeper. Oh, there's a good draw. Nice. Very good draw. Alright, so now I can like admonition their Aeromunculus next turn. Two cards in their hand. So admonition the Aeromunculus, attack with all my flyers. They're going to be forced to give Steeple Creeper flying, chump the Pteramander. And who knows, we might be drawing something good off of the admonition card draw. I guess I'd probably start off by eluding with the Guild Mage, though. Before anything else. Uh-oh, looks like they have another play. Funny thing I could also do is bounce my Deputy of Detention and then recast the Deputy on their 2 Aeromunculus. Cute, clever, but how good is that? I don't know. Alright, let's make the play. Let's draw a card. Discard planes. Let's go for the admonition on the Aeromunculus. Drew a Law Mage's Binding too. That's super good. So let's just attack with the flyers and see what they do. As soon as they try to give the Steeple Creeper flying by tapping out, I can bind their Creeper. Okay, they had an admonition, so let's let that resolve. Now they give the Steeple Creeper flying. I'm going to bind it in response, so they're going to take 4 damage here, fall down to 2. And then I can recast my Pteramander, gain another life. That's what they were thinking. They were thinking about main phasing the admonition to potentially draw a card as well. Alright, it looks like we are going to get this one. Nice, alright. Good game there. Woof. Scary. But we did manage to 3-0 with a nice little Azorius deck. Azorius has been super good for me. Just any combination of Esper, as I've said before. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that draft. We got to play against 2 pros and somebody that might have been a pro, as all the pros are testing for the PT. Mythic Championship. Can't get it out of my head. This weekend. But yeah, I got some big things on the horizon. I'll be going to the Mythic Invitational here at the end of March at PAX East. And then I'll be participating in the Mox event later on in April. So some big tournaments coming up for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Again, don't forget to check out all the other content here on the MTGO Traders YouTube channel. And again, you can always catch me streaming live at twitch.tv/NumottheNummy. Thanks for watching.